Today is July 28th, 2026. Like I said in the other video, I had to cut it off. When I was down at Dutch Valley Restaurant, Sugar Creek, there was idiots in there, of course, saying that attorney told us he had her tortured because she was weird with herself. He don't believe that girl was in here, confessing it was drug dealers in her home. And he doesn't believe there was sheriffs in here that heard it. And that they photoshopped that washing in the shower. I don't care what he believes. And I don't believe he's an attorney. See, that's where it was either April 9th or May 9th out of Myers and Alliance. They checked his credentials. He's not real. Well, he's dumb as a box of rocks. You can tell it's a drug dealer, a crackhead. Special permission stocking tapes, fake sodium pentothal reports, the right to drug somebody for fake confessions, having them beat and raped under drugs. You have the right and the right to torture people. What psychotic drug is he on? Getting the idea of, okay, and like some girls walk by. I wish people stop saying stuff to her. We all know that girl is here. Okay. Well, I really went off. I heard him, don't say anything. Well, keep your mouth shut, bitch. Some guy, when we went to get pie, I could hear him on the other side. There's the restaurant, and there's like glass doors and stuff. He said, now all the police know that agent is stealing from cases and buying prostitutes, and that's what's going on. Why haven't they arrested him? Okay. I went to go use the bathroom. People came in. They looked up Melissa. She has documented me games of pretend, and that she never hurt anyone. Now, I want you to think about this. I had a personal attorney, and they told me before I could even open a case, you have to prove injury. You have to go to the hospital. Can't just say it. What's wrong with this? It's just them saying it. And they were already taped by the police and the FBI. In the FBI case, they made everything up. They were games of pretend, and they wanted Agent John's girlfriend to get my house. My God. A prostitute. Okay. Well, convenient there, John, huh? Yeah. Nobody went to the hospital. There's no police report. There's no pictures of injuries. There's no treatment for injuries. There's no prosecution. No finding guilty. There's no physical evidence because they're mean jokes. Like those two guys that said they work for the drug lord. Melissa was willing to have the kids lie. To help them get away with it. Told them to say, okay, so they follow around, find out what was. Then on Thanksgiving of 18, where Melissa had told them to lie, they were taped in the basement like Officer John said January 12th, 22. Would those kids get taped stating? They made everything up. They were games of pretend. Laughing sick show. Okay? In a FBI case, they're documenting me games of pretend. Like those people said they looked up Melissa. She is documenting me games of pretend. She interfered in a federal investigation, working with people that work for a drug lord, and had her kids make up some mean jokes. And mean games of pretend trying to steal my house. Like they said, people have said Officer Mark made a big mistake letting her go. Where he hated to arrest her. Her kids were little. Well, write it up. They were just showing off for Dave and his new girlfriend. And they're wrote up as documentary jokes. Like Officer John said, they got tipsy and they made everything up. Their games of pretend. Like Laura told them, laughing. Of course, it never happened. Of course, it wasn't true. We made it up. They were games of pretend. And like those two guys that work for the drug lord, we got a real problem. Nobody actually got hurt. It's just them saying it. Oh, there's a big problem. Now, would an attorney even take you? You don't have no proof, it's you saying. You can't do anything. There's no injury documented. No treatment. No physical evidence. There's nothing. You don't have an attorney. No attorney would take you. Where my dog bite, like they said, you have to have so much to even open a case. You have to prove you were harmed. And it's in any kind of personal injury. Car wreck, dog bite, somebody harms you. You have to go to the hospital. They have to document the injury. You have to have pictures of injuries that match up to the documentation. There has to be treatment and ongoing treatment. You have to notify the police. They have to do an investigation. Because mine was a dog bite, I had to have the dog warden. Then I finally proved I was injured. Now I have to show responsibility. Can't have a witness. Okay? Witnesses can be paid off. You have to have physical evidence. I literally, where the dog bit into my coat and bit through it, I had its DNA on my coat. I wasn't allowed to wash my coat until we settled. That linked it straight to that dog. Now you got a case. You don't have all that, can't even open one. So would Melissa have an attorney? Or of course it never happened, of course it wasn't true, we made it up? No. See, that's where this guy, that Will guy, that don't know a law one, they said they looked up his credentials. They're not real. Special permission stalking tapes. We have the right to drug her to get the truth out of her. We're using sodium pentothal. What kind of psycho drugs is that crackhead on? Had the right to torture, and as if he didn't know, it was drug dealers in my home, like Asian John's prostitute said. There were Stark County sheriffs in there. Protected custody case with statements and court order. For the sheriffs, U.S. Marshals, FBI, local police, or state patrol, I have to have one around me to document everything for the case. And you know, those idiots, that attorney, well, they already admitted years ago, and like they said, they always could tell it was a shower scene. They admitted over and over again, a shower scene. Even made fun of the FBI for falling for it in drug confessions. Made fun of everybody, the original cartel. Mocked them. Okay? See those idiots today? They opened that protected custody case so they could get her under police surveillance so they could arrest her. How dumb are you? You put somebody in government immunity the rest of their life with money and statements to arrest them. They're in immunity, dumbass. You have a serious drug problem. And you can follow me around till the end of days. Without these crackheads, I'm a really boring person. I have one traffic ticket. It's just like these people. They're supposed to have a fake medical records, showing them to the public, my God. Since when could an attorney's office get your medical records? Have a fake doctor willing to show them to it and pass them around to society? And you didn't think it was a fraud scheme? It's a federal crime for them to be an attorney. It's a federal crime for them to say anything to you. And it's a federal crime for them to let anybody see any of your medical records and they don't pass them out to society. Will you get how crazy this is? Get an idea? Agent John has a court order. I have heard about that, and it's not true and it's fake. If he actually has something like that, and you're not just making it up out of your crackheaded mind, no judge can sign if you say anything, an FBI informant says anything, that they won't get their money. It is blackmail. Like the Stark County Sheriff's, we all know he couldn't say it. It is considered blackmail. It is 20 to life. It's blackmailing somebody. Witness intimidation. Obstruction justice. And blackmailing somebody. Extortion out of government funds. There's also other laws. Marsy's law, you can't silence a victim. There's Hobbs' law. Especially when you go into what is a jail sentence for an FBI agent. If he tells an informant if they say anything, they won't have protection. It's attempted murder, aiding and abetting crimes, tampering with a witness, obstruction to justice. Okay? 20 or 30 years. What is a jail sentence for the judge for doing that to an informant? The same. Under the color of the law, no one can take your rights away. See, where these drug addicts run around, Fourth Amendment don't mean anything. It means everything is the Constitution, idiot. Even President Nixon couldn't bug an office. The freedom of speech don't mean anything either. I don't know what planet you live on. But you don't live here. In the United States, and I want you to think about this, no one, not even a judge, can take your freedom of speech away. Nobody can. The only time they can put a gag order on you is during a jury trial. The proceedings are going on. Nothing else. Now, nobody can. And why did you think a police officer could tell you couldn't say anything? And their latest thing is, Agent John has a court order signed by a judge that if she said anything, he gets her money. There's not a prostitution clause. Sorry. No. No judge could sign it. They would go to jail for accessory to extortion out of the government. See, that's where they told these people, we can steal our Drakasami money. Do you know, under the law, any award money from getting information on someone, it comes with an award. It is protected also under the Witness Protection Program. And their money, it can never be touched, ever. Can't even try the attempt of extortion out of it's 20 years. See, that's where all these people acting like they're going to get money out of it, you can't even try. And where people run around saying, Melissa's attorney, she don't have one for mean jokes, and nobody ever got hurt. And their games of pretend. Like those girls said, they had them look up Melissa, the police. She has documented me jokes. Don't say a word. I know. She's going to look at life with no parole. Why do you think Dave left the country? What is not funny with occults and cartels getting together is very dangerous. But when an agent, and it's not a pretend thing, joins in because he's dating one of the prostitutes and tries to help and aid and abet him. See, that's where when people say, are you interested in working in Karen around the house? September 23rd to October 5th of 2018, Starr County Courthouse Witness Protection Program. We're part of the nationwide human trafficking scam where all those cartels showed up. They did the mean game or pay was paying for the harassment. They got surveillance. Like they said, we ought to get a quarter to surveillance them. We don't have to. They're using them to hurt her. We'll just use hers. We'll get them doing it to her and go after them then. Where the FBI went on TV, a loving case that we all devoted to, or we were all part of, the countrywide human trafficking scam, where we saved hundreds of children. In Ohio, Karen around the house was a small part of it. That Agent John is trying to derail. We're part of one of the FBI's mega cases against a cartel. Mega cases. Not even like a little case. We're part of a mega case that was nationwide. They got Buffalo, New York, Michigan, California. The king from Texas is a fentanyl king. They're all after it. They're Iraqis. There is Judge Peters in Florida. There was human traffickers from Georgia too. There was drug dealers from North and South Carolina, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Tennessee. They got thousands that showed up here. I was in seas of cartels mocking me, how I was being harmed, and that they were getting away with it. And you should have seen the investigators going after them, following them in plain clothes. It was like zoom, zoom, zoom. They'd show up and say something, and there was somebody, like they said, they went after them, followed them back. They found hundreds of people. Thousands went to jail. That's where the surveillance on my FBI case is what is gold. That's where the FBI did not sanction a case for FBI agent John to defraud a victim and buy prostitutes. They don't buy prostitutes for their agents. I'm sorry, guys. You have to buy your own. They sanctioned a threat and attempt to lie case, an attempt to murder case, for an FBI informant with money and immunity, for life, for helping get information on the people they were threatening my life and harming me, and others. And here, they hired the human traffickers, where they were attacking Ohio. And then they played their mean game. It was horrifying. I have so many injuries, it's not even funny. I'm lucky to be alive. All caught under police surveillance with a quarter. Like they said, March 17th, 26, in Carrollton in the McDonald's. We had them look her up. Her case is a threat and attempt to lie case. Who would have thought it would have led into a lot of drug dealers being arrested? They said they actually got a lot. Nobody's allowed to say a word. And that agent even stole her. The guy said, I would have stole her Trackasami money. But I found out that agent even stole her monthly income money that she was to live on. Can you imagine stealing somebody's monthly income? He said it's like stealing somebody's Social Security check. Why on earth would you steal somebody's income? Yeah. See, today when we went to leave, there was two guys, a guy and his kid. He said we were supposed to pay to follow around and make sure nobody gets our help. I know what they're doing. Sheriff Grady in Florida, Sheriff Grady, did a newscast on the human traffickers down there, Sheriff Grady. I listened to him. The Florida drug cartel will run scams or human traffic 14 people at a time and have 100 people watch up to 14 people. Make sure they can't get any help. Nobody will help them, and they're trapped. To the point they are so scared of even law enforcement that when law enforcement goes to rescue them, they have to physically rescue them because they're too afraid of law enforcement because they've got them that scared. Now think of these people following me and trying to make sure nobody helps me. Why don't they want me to have help? Because Agent John set that case up where they sanctioned a real case. He tried to put a fraud spin on it where he told Apostolic Church of Barberton he didn't care as being drug being raped before it started. Because somebody called me a faker? No, it's because he was going to sue up for his prostitute. He was going to take a legitimate case and put a fraud scheme on it. Tell on me for calling the hotline before he talked to me. Admitted on record line. He had all those people in his office. Makes fun. This is where the damning evidence. He was part of everything. When he said we could always use Pete's tape of Weird with yourself, well, who's Pete? It comes out that Henry Maffei that admitted he never met me in person. Who's Henry Maffei? That Pete? His girlfriend's dad, which is a prostitute. That makes him a drug dealer in the cartel. And when he makes fun of me for some dirty doctor I've never heard of, well, I had some other lady use my insurance. I thought maybe it was her trying to put logic. Do you know who's the dirty doctor? His girlfriend's dad again, playing two different parts. It's Henry Maffei that admitted he never met me in person. It's that bad. See, that's where we stopped at a Walgreens. Some kids came in, nobody will say a word. We all found out that doctor from before is Henry Maffei, and we all know he admitted he never met her in person. Oh, this is funny. No, it's not. And when you find out it's his girlfriend that's a prostitute's dad that is running a con on me and saying he can pull a fast one on the FBI and steal all the case's money for himself. So he knew the whole thing was a con. See, that's where the sheriff said they thought he was only acting this way to get the drug dealers. Till he showed up at that courthouse trying to get the case thrown out. Then they realized he's with the cartel. See, that's where Walter used to work at the Stark County Prosecutor's Office. He's like, the FBI has to fix this, and they need to fix it swiftly. They absolutely have to pay you. All informants are paid. You're paid for sacrificing your life to get them information. They have to pay you. It's a law, or they have no right around you. They are right on that. They have to pay you. They have to compensate you. It is the law. He can't make up his own restrictions. No judge could sign it. They'd sign their own arrest warrant. So freedom of speech, and the police know it. Like the sheriff said, they know he didn't have the authority. And it's blackmail. No judge could sign it. It's for risking your life only. So when you pull the real court order in Stark County, Ohio, straight from the courthouse, what will I have in there? Like the prosecutor's office said, it can only have your money and immunity in it for getting them information. He can't make up his own rules. No judge can sign it. It was only blowing you. Even a criminal attorney can't be in there. A real attorney. Real prosecutor's office. Real police I talked to. Real Google. Went on that too. I even have the codes and the laws. And the sentences for it. Okay? And I did more research. The only thing they can add is housing and living expenses and a medical card. That's it. As for getting them information. Because informants can go in places they They can't. They can't go in places where they flip drug dealers, people in the cartel to go in and get information, get somebody big arrested, give them money, immunity for the rest of their life. Or they get somebody in a cult to go in and get information on people and money and immunity for the rest of their life for doing it. See what I mean? We can walk in where they can't. The tap phone, a legally bugged house, get a court order for that, get a court order for the car, and police surveillance to watch that person so when they can get them doing crimes. Get the idea? It's that bad. These people are so dumb. They don't know one law. And so if you actually pull the real quarter, like they said they pulled the real quarter, it's not in there. It's their money and immunity. People showed up, did you pull the real quarter? And they said it couldn't be in there, that he couldn't tell her, she couldn't say anything. It's not, is it? Nope. Okay. See, he's been bullshitting you people. Now, this isn't the first time I've heard about him running around with a fake court order. Just like they're supposed to be running around with a fake set of medical records showing the public, my God. And you didn't think that was a fraud scheme? It's a federal crime to even show anybody's medical information to anybody. It's HIPAA. Let alone just passing it out to the public. Until you're dead, it's covered by HIPAA. Healthcare laws. See what I mean? Right of privacy over it. These people are crackheads. And that agent being with them, that's where all the cops thought he was just pretending. Because it's insanity. And they got all those drug dealers. Well, they're not getting drug dealers anymore. So what are they after now? Well, the riffraff and Agent John for actually being part of it instead of a scam. Now, see, that's where these people are so dumb. Agent John. See, the absurdity. And his girlfriend's dad and his girlfriend's laughing how June 26, how they hired drug dealers to steal everything for her. They picked her out personally so they could steal for her to do this to me so that they could steal for her. They photoshopped that shower scene of washing yourself, making fun of her so they could steal for her. Right in front of the sheriff's. She's a real piece of work. Investigators called her July 5th, 26, a prostitute. And then the sheriff is the agent's girlfriend that he tells everybody he has to pay her to date him. Well, she's a prostitute. You have to pay them. They demand payment. They're part of the drug cartel. And that's where if they don't, like Walter said, if they don't pay you, they can't leave it that agent defrauded you of money. Every informant's paid. Even grants funds and FBI agent, all informants get paid. You get paid for sacrificing your life to get them information they owe you. It's a federal law. You get paid for letting them surveillance you. They can't defraud you or the case gets thrown out. They have to pay you, compensate you. And since he set it up that it looks like they defrauded me and the FBI is defrauding victims, giving the money to their agents to go buy prostitutes, my God. The willing worker, the willing to stay up there while they surveillance me, willing to risk my life to help them while they got surveillance on me so they get the people they hired to harm me and others, and knowing that I was risking my life but staying on my own recognizance, my own will of staying there while they got surveillance on me to get these people they hired to harm me and others. knowing I was facing personal injury and harm, but still willing to stay, knowing the FBI, the agency alone, would be the one paying me and compensating me, and that other agent was only bullying me, a knowledgeable, willing worker. Like investigators said, we wish they would take her offer because it'll fix it. Because their case is a legitimate case. Just because Agent John tried to put a spin on it doesn't make the original case not legit. But if they don't fix it because of the legal loopholes, like Walter said, if those legal loopholes are not closed, the drug dealers they got will walk. They can sue for false arrest of millions of dollars each. Why do you think these drug dealers are following me? Like they said, to make sure no one helps her. Because they want that case thrown out. And the only way to stop it is to pay me, compensate me, and I signed that I was willing to go through that. Why do you think they're trying to destroy me? I do nothing to anybody. I work. I have Carl. We go out to eat. I work. I sleep. I go out to eat with Carl. We might go down to his old farm. Don't hurt anybody. Don't do anything either. Why would you harass me? Why would you want to destroy me? Because I'm the cornerstone of carrying around the house. I'm the reason they were there. The victim that called for help. Why? Like they said, her case was a way into the cartel. For them to get surveillance on them, for them harming someone. And they got how they were doing it and who was involved. And then there were people that they were connected to. And they just kept pulling back. They found so many victims. It was ridiculous. And all those people would be released. It could cost the government 10 to 25 billion. If you pull Karen around the house, FBI informant, that's what the sheriff's called. You know, where they said that we'll sell the login for $25 a pop. Okay? So the government technology to surveillance me. M13 is now live streaming protected custody. That Will guy sold it in 18th at Cartown. Okay? Mine's been live streaming. They've been sending it out. I heard in emails and all kinds of stuff. Okay? So they have all this under police surveillance. Like, okay, I'm a police officer. Back when, before I got married, said Miss Hall. No matter what, you stand on that FBI case and all the information they got on those people and all the surveillance and all those people that were arrested. You stand on that case and you don't get off of it with all that legal police surveillance. I have police surveillance. Well, some girl in Louisville in like 2020, she said, I got the case online in my phone. I opened it up. No, this is funny. On the front of it, it said she was documented and verified. She was found innocent of everything. So every time they walk up and say documented and verified, they've already cleared everything. Some guys came in to Dutch Valley. I didn't know they documented and verified all that. It's been 8 fucking years. Eight fucking years. They've already cleared everything. Everything was cleared the first fucking year. The only reason it didn't get wrapped up, all the drug dealers kept showing up. Like the guy showed up in May. None of this is funny. Drug dealers aren't showing up for us to grab anymore. Tired of playing with that extortion group. Where Trump is after all these healthcare frauds. What do you think this is? It's a healthcare fraud of fake attorneys, fake doctors, writing up fraud on people, railroading them into nursing homes, asylums, stealing everything they got. What do you think this is? It's a bit, like Walter said, it's a big fraud scheme. The whole thing is fraud. It's a cartel. Like the investigator, March 20th, 26, Walmart West Test by the electronics. Been around me since 18. Okay, he was in there talking about that family, admitting that they lied to the FBI about it offending them. Well, June 3rd, 26, down in Magnolia, they found him. He said that Melissa's documented me games of pretend, that I had never hurt anyone. And it was a human traffickers in my home. Not just drug dealers, human traffickers. And it's a big scam from them, the whole thing. Get an idea? Big human trafficking scam. They told you that years ago. Because that guy works directly with the FBI. June 3rd, 26, down in Bell Store in Magnolia, they were talking about him, where they found the surveillance of March 20th, 26, Walmart West House in Canton. By the electronics, where I'm looking at stuff with my grandson and Carl. I could hear him off the distance talk. They found him. And he works directly straight with FBI. What part is documented and verified? She was found innocent of everything. 18. Told you, these drug dealers told on all of them. All of them. All of them. Repeatedly. And how this is just a scam. And they're just stealing money.